thought of the B-52s as being Branca adjacent, but after trying out this tuning, I'm kind of starting to. Because this tuning is perfect for drones and overtones and dissonance and all kinds of stuff that Branca was into. And it's kind of got the like limited factor that he had in his guitar orchestra of having like guitars for limited parts, like a soprano guitar and stuff like that. And keeping it down to like 2 low notes and then 1 high note, doubled, unison strings, which create overtones. And then you just move 1 finger, up and down. You can do drones, and it kind of sounds kind of raga. Anyway, I love it. So I was reading his Wikipedia bio, and it said he was in a band called Black Narcissus with Keith Strickland, the other guy from the B-52s, played drums and guitars. So they were in a band together, Black Narcissus, and that kind of sounds like a 70s, hard rock psychedelic band. I wonder what kind of music they did. I'll have to investigate further. Maybe there's some info on Black Narcissus, which was right around 1970, so they were really, really young, but I wonder what they were doing. And then it says that Ricky Wilson and Keith Strickland both shared an interest for Eastern mysticism, which is pretty vague. And I wonder what they were talking about, if they were actually into like meditating or doing some kind of rituals but in my headcanon, I'm just going to believe they were into sitar music and ragas and Ravi Shankar and stuff, because that's really what you could do. And I can just picture Ricky Wilson at home messing around on his guitar, just doing like droning right out and going raga, as I like to screw around with. I mean, this is really pseudo Hindustani, pseudo sitar music, but it's fun to like think about like, mystical drones. So I've gained a new appreciation for the B-52s after messing around with this tuning, and I'm going to try to write my own songs with it, because that's the point here, because I'm obviously not trying to cover their songs or learn anything about his style. I'm just trying to take his idea, see if I can use it for my own stuff, because it's pretty similar to some ideas I already had. But I mean, this one, especially with the C on bottom, like I would have done it all octaves, but C, F, F, F. It sounds like he did the low C so that he could sneak up on the F string, like and then have, the next string be like the little dominant, I don't know, tonic note, but sneak up from below. Pretty cool. And then of course, you can kind of slam them both together for inverted power chords. Anyway, it's kind of interesting to have such an asymmetrical tuning where the low string doesn't match the octave on the high string. And then, you do fifth up here. And of course, you can sort of do your own rudimentary bass lines while you're doing a high part. Anyway, it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of adventurous, restringing to F and tuning up and stuff. I'm doing this on a baritone. I mean, I wonder what Ricky was doing. Was he really tuning all the way down to C super low? Because it doesn't sound like his strings are floppy on these recordings. It sounds like he has a real snappy sound, and it's not like the loose string grungy sound. I bet he put on really heavy strings, but I have no idea. String availability in the 70s, kind of a question. Like, I wonder if it was easy to get all kinds of different gauges or individual strings, and now they have skinny top, heavy bottom, and all that stuff. But I bet they didn't have that stuff back then. But there you go. Any veterans want to chime in about what kind of strings you could get back then? I'd love to hear about it. And then what I think is so great about this tuning is you can go between heavy stuff and ethereal stuff, because you can be rocking the low power chords, and then you can get kind of floaty and ethereal, messing around on the higher notes. Anyway, Ricky Wilson, you're an honorary noise rocker. I bet you were doing all kinds of crazy stuff outside of B-52s. In your bedroom, in your garage, in your basement, or whatever kind of place you had to do your informal jamming. And I bet it was cool. And I hope somewhere somebody made a recording of you messing around. the B-52s ever did any noise jams on stage. That would have been sweet. I found a couple early live videos of them from 1978, but they sounded pretty controlled. And maybe his whole thing in the B-52s was just holding back from busting out into ragas and noise rock the whole time. Maybe Ricky Wilson's job was just to create structures, so he had to rein it in and resist from going into drones and dissonance and all kinds of cool stuff. I never really was much of a B-52s fan just because of the timeline of it. Like, when I was a kid, it was Love Shack that was big. And, that was good, but it wasn't the thing that was going to inspire me to go out and listen to all their albums. So it wasn't until I was in my 30s and the YouTube era was fully underway that I started listening to their older stuff. And it's only recently, like this week, that I started really micro-analyzing their old stuff. So it's all pretty interesting. I hope you try the CFXXFF tuning yourself. It'll be worth the restringing because it's a lot of fun to mess around with, and it might breathe new life into one of your least favorite guitars, which is what I'm doing with all these tunings. I'm taking guitars I just don't play enough. Like here, this Send Metal 1 is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I just don't play it enough. So I'm in the process of restringing all of my guitars that I don't play enough, and trying to make them into crazy new alternate tuning things to hopefully do some wild and innovative stuff on. We'll see. So, mad respect, Ricky Wilson. To me, you're right up there next to Mark Sandman and Glenn Branca and the guys from Sonic Youth in the pantheon of inspirational alternate tunings. And if you made it this far, time to take you out with the all-round carefree outro a la CFXXFF.